Hello, welcome back to the Dojo of Gain. We have yet another Ben Shapiro debate. If you like the content, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe. You know the drill. You've seen YouTube before. Let's take a look and see what exactly the debate is about.
Shit. I'm the one calling the shots. I don't get stuck in the box. Feel like I've been through a lot.
So, do you come from Holocaust survivors, or are you a Jewish family that didn't?
So my great-great-grandparents arrived here. A lot of our extended family was killed in the Holocaust, but our immediate
Your
family...
great-great-grandparents, but not your grandparents.
Right.
Oh, do you have friends whose grandparents were Holocaust survivors or anything like that?
Of course, many of them. Yeah, I've helped write memoirs of Holocaust survivors.
Yeah. Their families are kind of messed up, right? Like, my family is very messed up.
I mean, if you go through a trauma like the Holocaust, I would imagine
they teach that trauma between generations. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, trauma very often in a lot of circumstances is passed down. I mean, I know some kids of Holocaust survivors who turned out fantastic and some who didn't. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, so you are officially woke. That is what wokeness is about. It's like, people's grandparents or their great-grandparents were slaves.
Well, that's okay. No, it's okay.
Fuck you!
Okay. Now, what he's saying does have some merit because things are passed down through generations. Now, I'm not trying to, compare something as big as Holocaust to something as minuscule as anxiety. But, for example, if you have a parent with a lot of anxiety, most likely their kids will display the same anxiety-based personalities because they've been, apart from genetic factors that may also have to do with anxiety, they've just been exposed to that type of behavior. Children, they're like sponges. They'll pick up any type of behavior. If you're obsessive compulsive, you have a higher chance that your kids will be obsessive compulsive just by them observing the behavior and picking it up, because that is what child learning is all about. It just sponges everything, and it's why children are able to learn languages so easily. There's a lot of bilingual children, and it's not as difficult for them to switch between the languages as it would be if you tried to be bilingual as an adult, right? That's why when you learn languages as a child, you don't really have accents as an adult. So yeah, it does have merit. Basically everything you experience as a child will affect you, and it will affect your brain development. For example, if you experience trauma, your brain development actually alters as a response to the trauma that you experience. So the part of your brain that's responsible for flight or flight, the amygdala, or wherever it's located, it grows bigger as a response to that trauma as a child. And as a consequence, the hippocampus can suffer and grow smaller. So you may have memory problems alongside with that enhanced amygdala. And also, you will have more anxiety because you will be more prone to enter a flight or fight state as a result. But let's get back.
I'm talking.
Guys, I actually want to hear. I want to hear.
No, this
it's
guy,
okay. It's okay. I want to hear. Let's at least hear the argument. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Go.
What? He wants to hear me.
I do want to hear it. It's fine. Let him go. Let's hear it.
Come on. I'll just,
Explain how that's woke.
So, I mean, the whole thing is like...
Oh, I'm not saying he has merit on the woke part. Sorry.
Oh, let's see. So during Silent Cal, Calvin Coolidge's administration, do you know about the Great Mississippi Flood back in the 1930s?
I understand that American history is filled with racial evil.
Yeah. And that causes some intergenerational trauma, which affects people's ability to be, effective, things like that.
Fine. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So if the idea is that history has consequences, of course that's true. That's not wokeness.
Yeah.
That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society
it doesn't.
Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here.
Again, young college students thinking they're as smart as Ben Shapiro.
I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay. Well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well,
when I went to go get my first tattoo, the guy had lightning bolts and 88s tattooed on his neck. And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
There are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because this is going in weird directions, and I don't really want to.
No, it's not
I
going in a
I don't
weird
really
direction.
want to get. Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments, and now it's time for me to respond because I let you say the full argument.
Okay, I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason your definition is inaccurate is because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is. Wokeism is a different thing. Wokeism suggests that all inequalities of today are attributable to not only historic injustices, but also continuing injustices in the now. And that all disparity is attributable to discrimination.
Like that, but a conservative.
Not just that.
A conservative is the only person. I want to know why. Why is it that conservatives are the only people who define it like that? Why are conservatives the only people?
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop here because this is going nowhere. But
what's up?
I'm gonna have to stop with this with you because this is going nowhere. All I'm going to say is this. To sum up,
I just am trying to understand your perspective. Just one more second. On a fundamental level, you're shifting definitions to avoid the consequences of your own argument. And if the idea is, final point, if you are going to hold on, if you are also.
Okay. So I wonder if this guy is planning on identifying as a woman because he doesn't let him make a point. Just keeps cutting him off.
Also, just final point to sum up there. Final point to sum.
I can follow that.
Yeah,
but,
I just want to make I want to make one final point to sum up there. If the idea is that traumas of the past invariably bleed down into the present, that does not explain why certain groups that have been historically not only marginalized but slaughtered in mass genocide are some of the most successful groups in our society. So if the idea is that past trauma always equals current inequality, or that my actions in, say, robbing a convenience store are attributable to bad actions that happened in Alabama in 1930, the answer to that is no. Don't rob the convenience store. The only way they are going to be able to break the chain of history is to make good decisions. What people on the left don't like to talk about is actual solutions. What they like to do is bitch about problems that existed 60 years ago and blame those for failures to solve them now.
100% agree, obviously. You are responsible for your own actions, right? Just because your family went through trauma or you went through trauma as a child does not excuse you being a criminal. It does not excuse you not getting ahead in life. Would you need extra work than someone else? Yes, but actually, you'd be surprised. Almost everyone on the planet has been through hard trauma, regardless of whether or not you believe it, right? It's the white privilege thing. Now, what about generational trauma that is going to happen to the white children now that white privilege is being preached in school and white people are being treated unjustly because white people are now the ones being made fun of? This is basically just turning the pot in directions of negativity. You're not achieving anything, right? Yeah, you're responsible for yourself, but traumas are either something that can stop you or they're something that you can use as a tool to learn and go ahead and strengthen your mind. And in the long run, somebody who has gone through more trauma has more of an opportunity to have more mental fortitude, so they might even have more of an advantage in life getting ahead because they're able to handle high stress situations, which is basically what you need to be able to handle if you're going into the business world or any type of profession. That's what it's all about. So trauma could actually be useful in that sense. Yeah, there's no excuse and there's no... People are responsible for themselves. And wokeism in and of itself is just a new age religion. It's a doctrine. It's a complete fallacy and based on just made up garbage. But hey, if that's what you like, it's what you like. but we don't like that around here. Peace out.